entrepreneurs and influencers. Sometimes talking about the F word can get dirty. No, not that F word. Finances, baby. Let's talk about it. This is the Dirty Money Talk podcast, season 2. I'm Stephanie Arrington. Let's do this.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Stephanie Arrington of Precise Accounting and Tax Solutions. I'm here today with a very good friend of mine, Sharice, and we're here to get into some taboo topics, also known as the dirty money talk. On today's episode, we're going to get into a personal challenge for you. We'll save that to the end. First, I would like to send a shout out to everyone who attended Invest Fest 2025. Big shout out to the team at Earn Your Leisure. I've heard so many wonderful conversations that I can't wait to delve into more deeply. Um, there are a lot of good things that are going on for us as a community when it comes to becoming more knowledgeable about financial literacy and other topics that pertain to your personal finances. But first, we should talk about the challenge. Okay, so my challenge to you is around a financial reset. This is a good time of year to take a look at your finances, your financial position, your financial strategy for the remaining few months of 2025. Cherise shared with me that she had participated in a fast of a different kind this year and she had amazing results. Cherise, can you tell us about your fast, your journey, and what we could take away that could help us?
So my fast dealt with the physical. So in March, I did a 40-day turn up with Dr. Joe, and it was suggested by our dear friend Penny Brown. Uh, it included using a certain type of fruit juice for 48 hours. And that's all you were consuming. And just so you all understand, fasts are not for everyone. Make sure you consult your doctors. Um, I knew a fast would be good for me. It was going to help me reset my taste buds, help me cleanse out my system. Yes, we know our system cleanses itself naturally, but when you start consuming sugar, consuming the salts, consuming things that are not natural and are not good for you, and it starts to become a little addictive, you need additional assistance with the cleanse. So that's what I wanted to do to kickstart my journey into a healthier lifestyle.
Okay. I was listening very closely to what you said
Mhm.
and thinking of how I can marry those principles into my financial life. Some of you may or may not know my birthday is July 18th.
I think we all
Okay, just in case it's July 18th every year. And sometimes we may splurge, we may spend deeply for the things that we value. I value the month of July a great deal, and I want to send a shout out to Sherry White. I appreciate Sherry White Ramsey and the rest of my July conglomerates. But we tend to overindulge sometimes because we are human in nature. And thinking about, as she said, all of the different salts and sugars and whatever it is that you consume, sometimes you need to take a step back and make a decision about, is this serving me well and where I'm trying to go financially. Times are different now financially, more so than they have been for a lot of us in a long time. It is sobering some of the changes that are predicted to be on the short horizon for us. As such, It's never too late to make a change. When you know better, you do better.
Absolutely.
So let's use some of the principles from Sharice and Dr. Joe's fasting experience. Number one, I think you first have to identify a need to change.
Hmm.
If you came up to me and said, Steph, I don't like that jacket, the first thing I would do is look at it. Once you take a look, then my mind can start to create a plan. Well, maybe I have another jacket. Maybe I can drop the jacket altogether. But you wouldn't even consider these things if you didn't have someone to point it out to you from a place of care and concern.
Shout out to Myra Marshall for always pointing out the need for me to look at my weight.
Left turn. Okay. So you want to first identify that you have a need to change or a strong desire to change. Number two, once you take a look, what are you looking at? You need to create a goal. So the first thing would be take a look at where you are. Second, create a goal for where you want to be. Once you have a picture in your mind, and that might be something you want to purchase, it might be someplace you want to go, it might be an experience you want to have.
Or how much you want in your savings account.
And that is something that we all should think about too, because we do spend a lot of time focusing on the spend. But once you identify the places where you overspend, you can redirect that money into something that's going to help you make money or to cushion your downtimes. How would that translate into your physical fast? So, did you promise yourself a reward? Did you?
So, of course, the end goal was to lose weight, get to a certain number, be able to do a certain amount of push ups, be able to walk or run a certain distance. So, similar to financial planning, you have to have a goal, then you have to have a plan to get to the goal. So, with the plan, I knew discipline was going to be required. So that means the world doesn't shut down just because I'm fasting for 48 hours. The sugar still exists, the salt still exists. Human beings still exist calling, offering happy hours, calling, wanting to go to dinner. People live in my home, cooking, eating, whatever they like. So, with the discipline, there was also a support group to assist with that. So, it's always wise to have like minded people in your circle.
That's a very good point. Sometimes the places where I may lack discipline, we may have a taskmaster like Penny Brown sitting over there in the corner that would gently steer me into thinking, not necessarily steering me into a new decision, but at least inspiring me to think it through, think it over. Okay, so we have two things so far. We identify the need, we set some goals. Within Sharice's goals, there seem to be a subset of goals. The main thing you want to remember when creating a goal in this context, it has to be something measurable.
Mhm.
It can't just be something like, I want to wake up and be better. Well, better how? Do you want to be a better saver? Do you want to be a more thoughtful investor? Do you want to be a penny pincher? Okay, because there are all types of gradients and variations of ways in which you can improve your financial health profile. As I mentioned, your health profile, your financial health profile is it it consists of how you spend, how you save, how you work to some degree, and what you decide to invest in. And by invest, I don't mean just your money, your time. Some of these things, again, once you have wellness as an overarching goal, that can be wellness in physical health and, of course, wellness in financial health. and a lot of other different sub areas of that: relationships, work, projects. And for those of us who are entrepreneurs, you can be a better entrepreneur. There are lots of ways that you can accomplish that, but we're going to stick to one. So, Sharice mentioned having the support of other like minded individuals and how critical that is to staying on track and succeeding. What were some of the less obvious challenges to your fasting?
Less obvious
Now, you said the sugar
challenges.
and the salt and the fat and the fried. Okay, we know all of that. Were
Yes.
there any other things that either threatened to or directly did take you, veer you off your path?
Uh, the difficulty of it. When you're in the middle of it and you just start to ask, is the effort really worth the outcome? And, I had to tell myself yes. And then again, I had to lean on those around me who were in similar situations or going through having their own wellness journeys to, help persevere. So most of the time, it's internal. I think a lot of people have internal conflict that most can't see. And that's when folks around you really will assist you with pushing through.
That makes sense. Some of the ways that again, I'm putting myself in your shoes from the financial point of view, as much as I've made efforts to be dedicated to my financial goals, sometimes empathy, my abundance of empathy, comes into conflict with my own personal desire to get my finances on track. And it shows itself like this: I've lined up all of my columns on my spreadsheet, and I've tracked, and I've did, and I've done this, and I've projected this, and then I get a phone call, or I might get a text, hey, I was wondering. It's like, oh no. Because at core, I'm a person who is of service and likes to be of help to the people in my life. And oftentimes I'm fortunate to be able to help, but sometimes it is discouraging that I get this close to goal A and it's just like, oh man, I don't really know how to overcome that. But thinking about what you're saying, maybe those are times when I could have that conversation and tell that person, hey, maybe let's branch out and think more creatively. Maybe you can ask somebody else. I got a list of folks you can ask. As a matter of fact, let me text you a list of others. But that's just one strategy. The point is to be thinking about it and knowing your weaknesses, who you're weak for, things that you're weak for, and being able to, I guess, kind of mitigate mitigate the risk or the overall impact of that destroying your bottom line from month to month. A lot of us, we care, and I think we'll continue to be who we are at heart. Okay, so community is going to be important.
Yes.
Finding people who are on that same track, because you're going to, again, you're going to not trauma bond, you're going to bond with these people because you're operating from a position of knowing them, you like them, and then you grow to trust them. And then that support is what is valuable.
Yes.
Okay. Um, in terms of stick to itiveness, was it important for you that you knew that it was a set duration of time that you had to fast? Did that, because sometimes like when I'm on the treadmill
Mhm.
and I'm going, it feel like I've done a lot and I haven't really done that long and I ain't really going that hard. It's no incline on this thing. But then I'm looking at that timer And I'm like, oh my God, 7 minutes, I can do it. That's like 3 songs. And it's like, oh my God, it's 2 more minutes. So, do you think the fact that they, let you know up front how long it's going to be, like, is that, or would it have made a difference if they wanted to extend it? Was there a point at which you were like, I could do this indefinitely?
No, definitely knowing ahead of time that it was only 48 hours made a difference. Because again, it let me plan mentally, it let me plan what was going to be in my kitchen, it let me plan what activities I was going to do around this fast that wasn't going to be too taxing to my energy. Because, of course, when you're on a fast, you're not consuming uh, the amount of calories as everyone else. Um, but it just allows for planning.
You know what that sounds like, y'all? That sounds like a budget. Wait a minute. That
Yeah,
sounds like a budget.
a wellness budget.
She was on a wellness budget in her pursuit of goal A, B, C, and C.1. Budget is something that we discuss all the time. People get intimidated by the word, or maybe it has a negative connotation. Maybe it sounds too strict. But essentially, you budget everything. You budget your time in. Yeah, I got to go to work today. I got to be in traffic for 40 minutes coming and going. Yeah, so you're budgeting constantly. In a financial wellness pursuit, you're going to want to get very precise about your budget. Be realistic about what you earn, how fast you earn it. If you're a visual person, it may help to actually write out your predicted deposits physically on a calendar where you can see, hey, by August 28th, I'm going to have this amount of money here. If it needs to get here by the 3rd, you need to see that visually. Everything we do now is digital. Auto pay this, auto pay that, ACH, debit this, blah, blah, blah. And we're just tapping and swiping and tapping away. The best way to create a budget in that type of environment is to really group the type of transactions. Nobody's writing checks, but how much do you have on auto pay right now? Do
Mm.
you know?
Mm-mm.
Um, how
No.
many things have you swiped your debit card for this week? These are things you can find out by logging into your bank account, downloading your statement. September 1st, download your statement. Look at everything that came out of your account in relation to what came in. It's probably 20 times as many transactions out as in. And I'm not saying there's nothing you can do about that, about the ends, right? That might be locked. Might be a biweekly paycheck. It could be a monthly, payment from a long-term client or what have you. But on the other side, you can decrease the volume of transactions. You could also opt to just make one cash withdrawal from your account every month and pay everything you do in cash. I bet that would cut the number of your transactions almost 100% because it's not as convenient. We so souped into convenience, and all of those fees add up. Your DoorDash comes at a cost, even if you have the Dash Pass like my kids got on my account. Even if you got to look and see what is being buried inside those fees. I'm like, if we paying the Dash Pass $9.99 a month, what is all of this other stuff? Why y'all tipping these people 50 cents?
Mm.
That's why they not putting out food by the door. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a whole nother conversation. But you have to, once again, this goes back to number one. You have to take a look at what is going on. Sometimes, as she said, you might need somebody else to help you. It can be a lot. It can be very intimidating if you're not used to doing it You really have to mind your business, and that's even as an individual. Do you have any experiences from your fast that you would consider remarkable enough to share with our three followers? Something remarkable.
Well, definitely with the 48-hour fast, I was able to drop 13 pounds at that time.
Lucky.
So, of course, you see the 13 pounds removed from the scale, and now you're motivated to keep them off. And once you see that progress, you use that as your next stepping stone to get closer to your end goal.
And it's always a series of small things that lead up to one. There are so many tasks and steps within achieving a goal. You have to break it down in the smallest possible pieces. It has to be digestible or you're going to choke on it. And if you're choking on it, you're not going to want to do it. Sharice, I thank you so much for sharing your experience because I really feel that what I'm going to propose to our followers, I think this is really going to be some good stuff. So here it is. Let's lean in. September 1st, next week,
Labor Day.
Labor Day. You're going to be home. You're going to be around. You're not going to be on the clock, hopefully. I challenge you to a 48-hour financial fast. What do I mean by that? I mean, don't buy anything. Don't buy one thing. Get your gas in advance and stay home and enjoy your mortgage. Okay? I want you to take the challenge with me. If you can commit to this, get on my line somewhere by August 31st, 2025, and say, I commit and I'm with you. So I'm going to jump in the fast with you guys as well. So I'm gonna walk it like I talk it, and I'm not going to buy one thing, nothing. We're gonna check back in. I'm gonna reach out to my network. There may be a prize involved.
Ah,
I think we need some type of recognition if you can do it
that's a
and prove
motivator.
it.
That's a motivator.
Okay, we're going to post through preciseacctax.com, and that's our handle on all social media platforms at preciseacctax. We're going to post more information with the specific rules of our challenge. Hope that we can get at least three more of the three. Come on, y'all, bring your friends. We're going to take this challenge together and take it seriously. I think once you take a look, you will be amazed at what you find and what you can do about it. There's always something you can do about it. You're never out. There's never no such thing as being out of the game. You can always get back in. So once again, I have my friend here, Sharice. I'm Stephanie Arrington of Precise Accounting and Tax, and sometimes talking about the F word can get dirty. That's finances, baby. We're gonna talk about it on the second and fourth Wednesdays here at the Strand Restaurant. That's 5131 Nanny Helen Burroughs Avenue, Northeast Washington, D.C. 20019. And you can find me all the time online. Well, you won't find me online all the time. That's not true. At Precise ACC Tax or call me at 301 541 3145. Have a great rest of your day and thank you so much for lunching and learning with me and Sharice.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.